Who are you when no one is watching? When there is no mirror to catch your face, no voice to respond to, no story to uphold? What remains? There, in the silence without performance, a part of you still exists, quiet, undemanding. That version, the one you rarely show, might be the most honest of all. What makes you, you? Are you the face in the photo, the memories you carry? Or are you the awareness behind it all, the silent witness who watches thoughts drift by like passing clouds? You are not just what's seen. You are the space where seeing happens. Have you always been the same person? Or are you constantly becoming? Your body has grown. Your dreams have changed. And yet, somewhere beneath it all is a thread, a quiet hum of self, unmoved by the passing seasons. Where do thoughts come from before you think them? You don't summon them. They arrive unannounced, uninvited, like guests from somewhere unknown. And you, the host, watch them rise and fall. Are you the thinker, or the sky that holds the thinking? If you couldn't remember your past, would you still be you? No name, no story, no childhood to cling to. Would there be something left? Something deeper than memory? A presence untouched by history? Are you your body, or do you simply live in it? You can feel your hands, move your legs, but the one who watches isn't made of flesh. The observer, that quiet presence, sits just behind the skin. If you changed everything about your life, would you still feel like yourself? New clothes, new name, new place to call home. Would something unshakable still echo inside, a signature you cannot shed? Where do you end and the world begin? You breathe in the sky, you eat from the earth, you are shaped by every face you've ever known. Perhaps there is no sharp line, only blending, only belonging. Are your emotions truly yours, or just visitors passing through? They rise like waves, strong, messy, full of story, and then they pass. What remains beneath the tide? That quiet, still ocean floor. What is it that notices you are alive? Not the thoughts, not the doing, just that still voice that whispers, I am. What is that, and where does it come from? Are you dreaming or awake? At night, your dream feels real. So now, in this moment, how can you be sure? Maybe this too is a story the mind is telling. If life is a dream, who is the dreamer? And if you are the dreamer, what are you dreaming yourself into? Who wrote this moment, and who is watching it unfold? Where were you before you were born? Before your first breath? Before your first thought? Was there anything? And if something was there, is it still with you now? Where do you go when you sleep? Your body stays, but your mind travels to places you've never seen. What is that landscape, and who walks it while you rest? What if this moment is all there ever is? Not the past you regret, not the future you reach for, just this inhale, this exhale, could that be enough? What is time, really? A ticking clock, a shifting shadow, or a river that flows only in the mind? When you sit still, does time disappear? If time stopped right now, would anything change inside you? Would your breath keep moving? Would your heart still wonder? Does something in you live beyond the clock? Are you moving through time, or is time moving through you? Like waves over a stone. Is time something you ride, or something that rides through your awareness? What is a moment made of? It's gone before you name it, and yet within it lies everything. A blink of eternity, holding breath, presence, and being. If this moment never returned, would you have truly lived it? So many pass unnoticed, but this one, this quiet, fleeting moment, is yours now. Will you feel it? Why are you here, right now, in this moment of time? Of all the places, of all the possibilities, you are here, in this body, with this breath. Is it a coincidence, or is there something quietly guiding you? Do you have a purpose, or do you give purpose to life? Maybe it's not something to uncover, but something to create gently, in how you show up, in how you care, in what you choose to love. If your life had no audience, would it still matter? If no one ever knew your story, your triumphs, your pain, would the living of it still carry meaning? Could value exist, even in silence? What if your greatest contribution is invisible? A word that softens someone's heart, a presence that helped them breathe. Not all impact is loud. Some ripples begin in stillness. Can something be meaningful, even if it doesn't last? A smile, a moment, a connection you barely remember. Does the briefness make it smaller or more sacred? What does it mean to live a full life? Is it adventure, achievement, or is it the courage to feel all of it? Joy, loss, love, longing, and stay open. If no one remembers your name after you're gone, was your life any less real? Legacy fades, but this moment is real, and perhaps the way you made someone feel is a kind of eternity. What if being alive is the only meaning you need? To breathe, to notice, to care. Maybe that's already enough. A quiet kind of sacred. Do you need to understand life in order to live it well? Can you walk gently through the mystery, trusting that meaning will rise like morning fog? Slowly, softly, without demand. Can beauty exist, even when no one sees it? A flower blooming alone, a thought of kindness never spoken. If no one witnesses it, is it still beautiful? Is the world as you see it real? Or is it shaped by memory, by belief, by longing? Maybe your perception is a mirror, reflecting more of you than of what's out there. How do you know what's true? Is truth something you can measure, or something you feel in your bones, quiet, certain, beyond debate? Can you ever be fully certain of anything? Every answer leads to more questions. Maybe certainty is not peace. Maybe wonder is. What if contradiction is part of the truth? You can be strong and tender, lost and guided, still growing and already whole. Maybe truth has room for both. How much of what you believe is truly yours? Did it grow from experience, or was it planted quietly long ago? Are you still choosing it? Is it possible to live without belief at all? To loosen the grip, to stop needing explanations, and simply be with what is? What is real when the story fades away? Not your job, not your name, just presence and the warm pulse of being. Are you separate from the world or made of it? The same water, the same breath, the same stars in your blood. Where do you end and everything else begin? Can you feel another person's pain as your own? When your heart aches for someone, is that imagination or a truth that we are never truly separate? What if all things are connected, even the ones that don't seem to be? A decision today, a stranger's glance, a story across oceans. We are more tangled than we know. What does it mean to truly know another person? You hear their words, you see their smile, but beneath the surface, there's an entire world you'll never fully enter. Can knowing someone ever be complete? Is anyone ever fully knowable? Even you surprise yourself sometimes. So how much can we really know about each other? Perhaps love isn't about understanding, but about staying curious. What is love beyond words or feeling? Not a rush or a claim, but a silent yes to someone's being, even when they change, even when they leave. Can you love someone without needing anything from them? Not to be completed, not to be fixed, but simply to witness them as they are and hold space for their becoming. Is it possible to be alone, but not lonely? To sit in stillness with yourself and feel held by something vast and unseen. Perhaps presence is its own kind of companionship. What part of you longs for connection, and what part resists it? Can both be welcomed. The part that reaches out, and the part that protects. There's wisdom in both. Are we all walking each other home, even when it feels like we're walking alone? There may be threads beneath the surface, invisible connections that gently pull us toward one another, toward understanding. Can loss be love in a different form? When someone is gone but still felt, in a scent, a memory, a whisper? Is that absence or transformation? What does it mean to say goodbye when something still lives inside you? Some endings don't erase, they echo. Maybe goodbye isn't a door closing, but love changing shape. What is death, really? A vanishing, a return, or the next quiet chapter in a story too wide for us to see? Are you afraid of death, or of not having truly lived? Is it the ending that frightens you, or the idea that you haven't yet felt it all, loved it all, noticed it all? What would it mean to die without regret? Not because everything was perfect, but because you showed up fully. You felt, you cared, you didn't hold back your presence. What happens to your story when you're no longer here to tell it? Does it fade into silence, or does it linger in the lives you touched, in the kindness you left behind? Can something exist, even if we can't explain it? The soul, the pull of intuition, a sense that something more is always nearby. Do we need proof, or just permission to feel? Is there a part of you that has always existed? Not your name, not your body, but something untouched by time. Something still, soft, and quietly knowing. What if death is not the opposite of life, but part of it? Not a stop, but a return. A final breath of a larger song we cannot yet hear. What remains when everything else is gone? Not your things, not your titles, just a whisper of presence. The soft imprint of a life once lived with heart. Can peace exist in the face of mortality? Not in denial, but in softening, in letting each moment matter more because you know it won't last. If you knew your time was short, what would truly matter? What would fall away? What would you hold with both hands? And what would you finally let go of? What is worth living for when everything else is uncertain? Is it joy, stillness, the taste of breath, or just the chance to be here for one more moment? Are you truly free, or following patterns you've never questioned? So many choices feel like yours, but are they habits, echoes, passed down like lullabies, softly shaping your life without you knowing? What is freedom, if not the ability to choose your response, even when the world presses in, even when everything feels out of control? Can you still choose how gently you meet it? How much of your life is automatic? Wake, scroll, react, reach, again and again. But what might happen if you paused? Would something quieter rise? If no one ever told you who to be, who might you become? Without the voice of culture, family, fear, what would you lean into? what would feel like home in your own skin? Is there a difference between who you are and who you think you are? Your self-story may be smaller than your truth. Could you grow beyond the story into something softer, more whole? Where does awareness come from? You are aware of your thoughts, your breath, your presence. But who or what is doing the noticing? Is your mind a tool or your master? Do your thoughts serve your peace or steal it away without asking? Can you think without attachment? Letting thoughts pass like clouds, no grasping, no chasing, just watching them drift. What happens when you stop identifying with your mind? When you sit behind the thoughts, quiet, aware, untouched, who do you become? If the voice in your head is not truly you, then who is listening? There is a listener, still, deep. That may be the truer you. Can silence say more than words? A look, a pause, a breath. Sometimes silence holds what language cannot carry. What is consciousness? Not just wakefulness, but awareness of being aware. Where does it begin, and does it ever end? Is your experience shaped by attention? What you focus on grows louder, what you ignore fades. So, what are you feeding with your gaze? Can attention be an act of love? To truly see something, not to fix or label, but just to witness it fully. What would it feel like to let go of control, just for this moment? To soften the grip, to breathe into what is, to trust that it's okay not to steer. What are you clinging to that's already letting go of you? Old stories, expectations, names. Can you feel them loosening, asking to be released? Can you surrender without giving up? Not collapse, not defeat, but the kind of surrender that feels like a deep exhale. What happens when you stop striving? When there's nothing to prove, nothing to fix, just the quiet permission to be here exactly as you are. Can you be at home in the unknown? To rest there without solving it, like sitting in darkness, trusting morning will arrive when it's ready. What if you are already exactly where you need to be? Not late, not missing anything, just here, now, and maybe that's always been enough. Can you be present without needing this moment to be different? No fixing, no running, just sitting with what is, as if it's enough, because maybe it already is. What if nothing needed to change for you to feel peace? Not the job, not the body, not the relationship. Maybe peace begins when the search ends. Are you missing this moment by trying to reach the next one? Always forward, always striving. But life isn't waiting for you later. It's here, in this this quiet breath? Can joy exist in small things without being chased? The warmth of a blanket, a deep exhale, the sound of your heartbeat, so simple, so sacred. Is contentment quieter than you thought? It doesn't shout, it doesn't sparkle, it hums softly beneath your life, waiting to be noticed. Do you need more? Or do you need to notice what's already here? Your breath, your pulse, the safety of this moment. Sometimes what's missing is your own attention. Is your life already full in ways you haven't been taught to see? Not by achievements, but by awareness, by love, by being. Can you slow down without falling behind? Who set the pace? What if slow is sacred? What if rest is the most radical thing you can choose? What is enough for you? Not what they told you, not what fear demands, but what your soul softly whispers when the noise fades. Can you listen without needing to respond to the wind, to your breath, to your heart? Not to speak, but to truly hear. What if your value is not in doing, but in being? You are not your output. You are not your productivity. You are enough just by existing. Can you see beauty even in ordinary things? A flicker of light, a quiet corner, the feel of your hands resting in stillness. Are you open to being surprised by peace? Not planned, not pushed, just gently arriving, like morning light across your face. What happens when you stop trying to understand and simply feel? Not analyze, not solve. Just soften into the body, into breath, into whatever this is. Is the mind the only place truth lives? Or does your body know something too? A kind of wisdom that doesn't speak, but steadies you from within. What if there's nothing to solve, only something to soften into? Not a problem, but a presence. Not an answer, but a remembering. Can you meet this moment with gentleness instead of judgment? Whatever arises, welcome it. Let it be seen. Let it be held. You don't have to change it right now. What if your deepest wisdom is quiet and already inside you? Not something to earn, not something to find, but something that's been whispering all along. Are you willing to rest now, even if everything isn't figured out? To leave some questions open, like windows at night. Let the cool air move through, and trust that peace doesn't require answers. If this is all there is, this breath, this awareness, this moment, would it be enough? Let yourself fall into it, not to escape, but to remember. That presence is the most beautiful place you can be.